Okay, good to go. So first question I'd like to ask you is that facing the same Bonaventure team, they play a defense that not everyone likes to play, which is that zone defense, that 2-3 zone. We saw throughout the game that they like to kind of evaluate it, switch back and forth between that man and zone. How did you all feel like you all responded to seeing that different type of defense?
I think we responded really well, but I just feel like sometimes we weren't hitting our shots, but we didn't let that discourage us at all. Even though they were switching our defense up, we knew that they were probably going to play zone more so. So, I mean, I feel like we handled it really well and just kept our composure and didn't get, discarded.
And especially the first quarter in particular was really rough for you guys, and kind of the second half you guys had to make up for some of that. Can you explain what you guys felt out there, especially during that first quarter? What caused a little bit of struggle there?
I just feel like we just lacked effort. We just came out very, very slow. I feel like once we got in the halftime, we just realized, okay, guys, this is our game. We just need to relax and just let everything come to us and don't really, force anything. But also we need to, up our intensity and our pressure and all that stuff. So I feel like we came out in our second half very strong, just knowing even though it was still hard, we still gave it all I got. So I'm really proud of us.
How did you comment to Matthew's performance as well? She's someone that you've played alongside with now for a couple of years, and last year, obviously, dealing with injury. This year, she really, especially the last 3 games, has really come into her own. Can you just talk about maybe the kind of work, or have you seen this coming? Maybe.
I've seen it coming simply because, it's been a long time coming since she's touched court. So I'm excited that everything is falling for her. I'm glad that she's getting everything that she deserves because she works hard. She works hard in practice, and she always never gives up. So I'm glad that everything is going good for her because, she definitely deserves it.
Had a couple of timeouts there late. The game was still in line. What did y'all say in the huddle?
We were just telling each other let's just finish it out strong. That's only all the timeouts. We were just telling us not to foul, not to let them to the line because they were in the bonus. But we just tell us keep our heads on straight and just keep giving all we got. It's almost over, but we still got to give it all we got.
Early in that fourth quarter, when they kind of hit a couple shots, I think. How did you? They were tough. I think one of them was a tough 3, and then another one was a tough layup. I think, and you guys responded well. How do you, maintain that focus even whenever they start hitting? Sometimes they hit difficult, tough shots. How do you stay confident in your ability to defend well?
It's definitely hard for sure. But I feel like once we go down there, we just have to realize, yes, the game, we still have plenty of time left. Just because they made a couple of shots, don't let that discourage us at all. Keep playing our game and just keep our confidence up. They definitely hit us with some good shots, some hard shots that were tough. But I'm just glad that we just kept going and got it done.
Their length, they look better than a 3-8 team. I know Tony and I were talking before the game. He says, yeah, they're better than 3-8. I hope they don't get hot today. So what was your thinking coming into this game?
Coming in this game, Coach Kemper has basically told us, even though their record, they're still going to come in and play strong, and that's what they did. Credit to them, but I'm just glad that we got the win, and we played. We toughed it out for the 40 minutes that we did.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
It's always important in basketball to win ugly. There's just too many games. You don't always have everything clicking. Everybody doesn't always feel good. And, so I think it starts from there. I'm really proud of them that they have the ability to find a way to win that game. I do not want to take any credit away from them. I thought, they haven't played very good on the road the last 2 times. And just generally speaking, I was like, they're going to be due to play better. I think they were 12 for 51 the other day from the field at Robert Morris. And, math just says it's going to go better eventually. And so I thought they were ready to play. I know that we gave them confidence to play well, and I thought for many stretches of the game they did. They got us. They rebounded the ball well. I didn't think we boxed out well. We talked about that. There was going to be long rebounds from the threes. We gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. Some things like that just weren't what we wanted. But It was very difficult to win. It took every minute that we had. Score is not indicative of how hard it was because it ended up 8. That was a 1-point game, basically, And so it's good to win when things aren't perfect. And I hope that we grow. I hope that they listened to the things that are important to me after the game in terms of growing our team. Because I think that they're in a pretty good place right now. We're like 6-4. We have a huge game on Wednesday against a good basketball team in Tennessee, Chattanooga. And I know they're going to want to go into the break well, too. I think that's going to be a hard-fought, tough game on Wednesday. But I think that we're like 6-4 now. We have the ability to have a nice little run before we go into conference play. And then I think that they can I think they can compete very well in the league if we work consistency. We have to work on that.
The first thing I wanted to ask, early in the game, they gave that zone defensive look, and it seemed that it gave you guys trouble, especially with turnovers a lot. How did you shift in that second half, especially, to try to just calm down everyone? I know that they came out in man defense, and then they kind of switched it back and forth as the game went along. How did you prepare the team in the second half for that zone defense?
Yeah, I mean, we basically we didn't make any adjustments at halftime. I mean, we needed to adjust the energy more than I was like, we've got to get to that first, and then we'll try to figure out. But I think part of the adjustment was aggressiveness. I think we were very passive, and I thought we played both ends of the floor that way. And so I'm sure that the things that I talked about was just generally probably led them to be a little bit more aggressive. But we also took a nice punch from them out of the locker room. I mean, I think without some character, they came out. But whatever I said at the locker room, whatever my speech was, theirs was better because they walked out there and hit shots again. And so for us to steady and find a way, I think is important. But I think we got more aggressive. We attacked it better with guard play. We knew they were going to zone. We haven't seen a lot of that. We need to improve at it. That's clear. So.
How do you figure and you did a good job, or at least the team did a good job at getting to the free throw line tonight as well overall, especially again in that second half. How did, it's tough to get a lot of that dribble penetration and to get those entry passes with a long team like that. How do you, or I guess how do your players do such an excellent job at getting into the paint and being able to draw those fouls, especially in a game where both teams really aren't shooting that well the whole time?
Well, I mean, I think our players they have talent to do that kind of stuff. I think the first half you're right, we turned it over a lot against a team that wasn't pressuring. We were just loose with the ball. We were just, I wasn't coaching the same team that I coached on Wednesday at South Florida. And so that was what we talked about at halftime is we've got to come back. Now, I think the one you just talked to, I thought she was tremendous all night. I thought she made tough play after tough play. From the opening tip, she got an offensive rebound right away. Her follow that put us up, that's a great play. That's as good a play that I've seen around here in that moment for a long time. I mean, it was a tie game, and she gets one off the glass and banks it in to give us the first basket of the game. But I thought I thought she looked like a fifth-year senior who had played a lot, And I don't know what her line was either, but she was really important. I'll tell you that. The way she carried herself, I think, those two players, it emanated throughout. Mo Matthews, I don't know that she had her best game today. She made some key shots in the first half when nobody else could, and she's very important on the defensive end. So I don't even remember your question. But aggressiveness, and I think we have the guards to be able to do that. They just can't stand and look and move it. I mean, you've got to go be a player. I mean, basketball is spacing and then having players with the confidence to attack spacing. And we didn't have it in the first half, and I'm happy that they discovered it.
There's a particular play, Mahogany gets the ball in the post, and she turns toward the basket and looks, and none of the other four has moved anywhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it was early on before you started getting people moving, huh?
It was a slog. I mean, it was a slog. There's no question. And you know, we did get some better dribble penetration. And I thought that we got timely offensive rebounds. I don't know. We ended up with 17. And they were timely. Some of them were really important. I know maybe Rose's first three that she made came off maybe like a miss and an offensive rebound, and maybe she even missed one on the other side, offensive rebound in the corner. You know, so, yeah, you just got to move the ball, and you got to find a way sometimes. And I thought that's what today was. We just find a way.
Another player who played well, especially in the second half, was Shayla Scott. She had such a good game in South Florida, and then to come out in the first half, and she was really struggling to get anything going offensively. You know, can you just attest to the kind of player that she is to be able to come back in the second half in a real important way?
Yeah, I think I'm most happy with her in that I talked to her about that at halftime. Like, you know, we had a conversation that was, I want to coach the player that I coached over there, you know, regardless of if it's going in or not. And she certainly was more aggressive in the second half. And I still don't know that it was her day necessarily, but she made enough things happen for us that were positive when we needed her. You know, and I thought Abby did the same thing. Abby made a three in a moment that's just like, I was like, where's it going to come from? And, you know, I liked what Tara did all night. She needs to make more for us. And she's going to walk home and think the same thing. But I basically was like, let's try Abby, and let's see if she'll get it going. And I do think she's a tough kid, and I think she likes to win. And I thought that shot she came in and hit a big three, and I think it settled her down a little bit. She played well from there to the end. So there's a bunch of little things like that. But generally speaking, we weren't at our best, and it's hopefully you can learn to get better when you don't have your best, and you still win, which I mean, anybody that coaches basketball for any length of time knows some nights you learn lessons and you don't win, you know. And so hopefully we found a way to win, and we can also learn something about consistency.
That was about, my next question was going to be about Abby and that shot. You could see she'd missed a few before that, but she kept shooting. That her kind of mindset, that's kind of player she is?
I hope. I mean, you know, I've only watched her play live 10 times now, 6 and 4. Okay, so I think so, and I mean that's you. I think great coaches, they get to call it instinct. All right, some of it's luck, right? Let's try. Let's see. You know, she's had a little time to center herself. Let's try. You know, I do have confidence in her. I had confidence in the one that came out though too. You know, and so let's try. You know, and she's been in big moments for us before already. Let's see. And that was a big shot for us, and hopefully a big shot for her. She likes to compete. I think I'm learning that, and you know, I think it was important for her to kind of battle back and find a way to have a decent day on a day that didn't start that great for her.
Is that kind of your outlook in a nutshell? You've got so many new players, and you're still, even though you saw them when you were recruiting most of them, you're still learning them, and they're still learning one another. What's that like for you? And have you ever had a situation quite like this?
No, I mean this is very much. It's almost like a lot of times when a coach takes over a new program, they have a lot of turnover. It's very similar to that, and so you're right. We got a chance to recruit them, but many of them come from the portal, and that you're developing a relationship over the phone. Like a player like, trying to think, like one of our, Meredith Mayer. We've sat in gyms and watched her play many times. We've built a long relationship over the phone. You know, Rose Scott's recruiting process is really, it happened really fast. Like we talk, we go over the things that are important to us. She talks about the things that are important to her. We show, you know, she didn't even visit here. She looked at slides and things. So I don't know how long the courtship was, but it wasn't long. And you don't have face-to-face time in that. So there is learning that goes on. And so it's different, but I've said this before, I think our staff did a good job of, Mo Matthews didn't play a minute for us last year. Now, I knew how important she could be to the team last year. I knew that was a big loss when we lost her last year. And you see that now. Kia played in a smaller role than she is right now. Ari Redmond played a little bit. Sam played a little bit. You know, so we're pretty much all new. And I think that at times they do a very good job of knowing me in a short amount of time, and the things that I like. Sometimes I don't. You know, first 20 minutes today, we were not on the same page. Okay? I thought the second 20 minutes was better. And I especially like the fact that it wasn't easy to make it better. We came out, they made some shots. It took some guts and importance to them. There's only so many things I can do, wave my wand and make it better. They've got to go make plays. And giving them credit, we've got enough in there that can do it. We have to get on the same page more often, you know. And I don't think that's it's not like we're always not. This team has played well a lot of the year. I've really been on them about, you know, consistency and me being able to push them every day. And I want us to get better at that. No question.
Takes time.
Yep, it does.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. See you Wednesday.
Have a good Wednesday.